Hello everyone and welcome to Cooking with Shindle. Today we're going to be making cookies and talking about work-life balance. So, in baking, just like teaching, it's so important to maintain work-life balance or a balance in between wet and dry ingredients. Today we are going to make cookies. So first we have 1 cup of butter into the dish. This is like your sleep, because it's such a critical part to all of our lives and we all need it. So that's important. The second is 1 cup of sugar. This is your self-care. Whatever you do to take care of yourself so that you don't go crazy at the end of the day when you get home and just take it out on your spouse. So that could be running, meditation, just having a cup of coffee in silence in the morning, whatever you need to do. Next is brown sugar. This is sweet, like your family or your husband. So this one is so important also, because if you don't take care of your family and yourself and spend good quality time with each other, that is eventually going to fall apart. Next is 2 eggs. These little suckers are like your kids. So there's so many things to do with them, and they're like what holds everything together. You have sports, bedtime, nap time, sleep time, homework, diapers, poopy diapers, every other thing. And you don't really even notice that they are in there because they're just such a critical part of your life. However, that's in baking. In kids, you do realize that they're there with all of those things. Okay, the next is vanilla. You need 2 teaspoons of this sucker. And this is just like any social life that you have. It's not very prominent because as a teacher and as a mom, you probably don't have much of a social life, but it's enough that it's important to put in there. Okay, now on to the dry ingredients. So first we have 3 cups of flour. This, you see, is all of our wet ingredients all mixed into one. So we are going to put this in the mixer and mix it up. And now, on to dry ingredients. So first we have 3 cups of flour. This is going to represent our work as a teacher, and the flour is the collaboration piece. So Dustin Brass, the Aboriginal advocate, Ashley Young, from Social Services, and Derek from STF all stressed the importance of collaboration in teaching, because this, you will see, almost fills the bowl. It is such an integral part of teaching that it is so important and takes up most of your day, I would say, whether it's collaboration with parents, students, co-workers, outside services, whoever you need to collaborate with. Also, most of the articles that we talked about in class at some point talked about collaboration with others and how important it is. So next is the baking soda. So this one we only need 1 teaspoon, so not very much. This is decisions. Now, it's contradictory to your normal decisions in a day because you literally make thousands of them. However, I don't think that you really think about most of the decisions that you make. Are you going to wear this shirt or the other shirt? Are you going to yell at the kids or are you going to talk to them? Are you going to give them homework or are you going to give them class time? So this was also talked about in the Professional Capital article that talked about decisional capital and how that works to make changes. They talked about 4 different types of people. One was the renewed, who are constantly learning and being challenged. One was the restless, they're like dead wood. Another was disenchanted, and they were once excited but not so excited anymore. And the other ones were the quiet ones, who would make changes by making decisions with 2 or 3 other people. So the next part is 2 cups of chocolate chips. You will see that these all there are some smaller ones, some milk chocolate ones, some butterscotch ones. This is because this is going to represent planning and preparing, and there are so many different ones because there's so many different things that we need to do in a day to plan and prepare for our teaching. So a study done by Alberta Health Services recommended, and the University of Calgary, showed teacher stress and said that the average teacher is working 55.6 hours a week. That's 1.5 times the amount of a regular employee. That's not including the 3 to 4 weeks before the school year even begins. So, and then the Canadian Teachers Federation also had said that the introduction of technology has blurred the lines in between work and life balance and how to separate them. And they've put more demands on the increased pace of work and changed service delivery expectations. So now if you get an email at 11 o'clock at night, unless you set times up for yourself for office hours, your parents are going to expect that you are replying before you get to school the next day, which is crazy. So now we have two things, the wet, which represents our life, the dry, which represents our work life, and now they're going to mix together. Let's see what happens when we don't have equal amounts of each. This, my friends, is what happens. We get burnt out. We can't maintain the standards of practice or the codes of collective interest, such as maintaining, supporting student growth at all times if we're burnt out and no longer have the ability or the effort needed into ensuring that we are reaching and mastering these outcomes and maintaining students' best interests at all times. Promoting activist teacher identities, that we need to reimagine teachers as leaders, learners, and policy actors whose influence goes well beyond the walls of any classroom. This is ideal, but we can only do this and put the amount of time needed into collaboration, planning, and decision-making, active decision-making, if we have a pot to pour out of. And a cookie to eat.